Okay, it is, this used to be a nook first of the year. Bought this from a gentleman in Magnolia. I really like it. It's progressed well. It is a good nook. I have put a honey super on it, and it's doing good. We're gonna see how. Ooh, I tell you this, that honey super is full of bees. And there they go. Whew. There's a bunch of them in there. Bunch of them in there. Well, I guess I should have picked it up a lot sooner. We're going to set it down. Put a little smoke on the brood chamber. And take off this queen excluder. Ooh, mercy sakes alive. That thing is overflowing with bees. I mean, it's overflowing. Now you got to remember, this was 5 frames, 2 frames of brood, and some food stores when I got this. And I think it's been about 6 weeks. Not exactly sure of the date, but I believe it's been about 6 weeks. This frame is loaded. It's loaded with stores. Get out of the way, girls. You're gonna get squished. And look at them just pour off of there. And it is. It's capped and uncapped honey. Capped and uncapped honey. Mercy sakes, it's hot out here today. Okay, here we go. Bee bread, pollen, and brood. Whew. Mercy sakes. This thing is just loaded with ladies. Absolutely loaded. Okay. More brood, more honey, tons of pollen and bee bread. Same thing over here. Same thing over here. It just looks like it's a pattern. and another. Get those ladies off the bottom down there so I can see what's going on. Same situation. They're putting some drone cells there in the bottom. But just look at the bee bread and the pollen mixed in with that brood. Same thing here. Same thing here. I guess I'm gonna have to be careful, even though I have a honey super on here. Shoot, I may have to make a double brood or a split off this one too. I don't want to have to do that. I want to get some honey. All this that's hatched has been relayed. Most of it has uncapped brood in it. I just got stung in the top of the head, and I'll have you know, it's the first time I've been stung by a bee in this hive. The very first time. I would let them have their way, but I got to make sure I don't have any swarm cells in here. I too much invested in these girls to just let them swarm on me. Okay, more brood, more larvae, and more bee bread. It's just looking like it's continuous on all these frames. They're getting riled up. Don't like that. Get down, get down. Okay, frame number 7 here. Oh my Lord. Absolutely loaded with brood and honey. Brood and honey. I want to make sure I don't have a swarm cell here. Going back down. Back down with number 7. Number 8 coming up. More brood and honey. Brood and honey. I should have known this when the honey super had so many bees in it. Another one on the top of the head. I've never been stung in the top of the head before. I guess these girls know how to attack from behind. Honey, some brood. Gosh, it's full of honey. I'm going back down in there with this. I see that when against the wall over there is nothing but honey. I'm gonna close this thing back up and put that honey super back on there and pray that they move all this honey up into the top. Oh, Lordy. What an experience, huh? What an experience. I got to get these girls down so I can put this queen excluder on here. And there it is. Here goes our honey super. Man, this sounds like a locust swarm. They are so noisy. This is the frame that had wax on it. It was one of those wax foundations. I don't think they've done anything but steal wax off of it. But I'm telling you one thing, they are getting after it right now. Oh, almost dropped my smoker. Get back down in there. Whew. And we're going to put this up here for some shade because this is setting in direct sun. Now, I'm going to move on from here. I'm going to move on. Papa B here. I'm going to tell you, bee lovers, it's hot out here today. And I came out before 10 o'clock. And that's why I did, because it is hot. So we've been in hive number 4, number 1, number 3. Now we're going to go into number 2, see what's going on. Now let's take off this top inner cover, see what's going on in here. Set that down for just a second. Let some of that get in here. This is notoriously my most protective hive. Most protective. And they do like to protect it. As you can see, it's a flow hive. I don't know exactly what all we've got done in here. I do know they've been working it, and they've been working it fairly heavy. But we're going to take off the honey super set it aside, look at the brood chamber. I want to leave that queen excluder on the brood chamber. If I pick this thing up, oh, and I do leave it. Let me tell you folks, that is some kind of heavy. That is some kind of heavy. Got a few hive beetles and a few bees stuck on this. That just tells me it's working. Whew. Now, one thing I want you to know is that I have taken several frames of brood out of here this year and put in hive number 1 because it was so weak. It was just so weak because I moved the queen initially over to this split I made, and so they didn't have the laying power at first that the other hive had. Now, that being said, they did have a queen, and she did a lot of laying, and that's why I moved so many frames, and then wound up having to move 2 more last week that had swarm cell and 2 super procedure cells on it because I didn't want her gone. Just that simple. Didn't want her gone. Now, here is a food source frame, both sides, right here on the edge. Right on the edge. Well, folks, she's still at it. Look at all that brood. And on this side, honey. Yep. It's honey. Capped and uncapped. Now here's one of the frames that I put in last week when I removed the frames with the sails on them. Hadn't done anything to that one. Just a little bit of drawing out, that's all. Not much. And they're drawing out that a little bit. Not a whole lot. But remember, only been a week. Only been a week. Number 5. Honey. Honey. And a queen cup. The world they want to do to these queen cups, I have no idea. We're not going to swarm. Number 6. Coming out. Oh, we got some bee bread and drone. Bee bread, drone, and some brood, not a lot. You know what I'm going to do? I got a queen cup there. Got some royal jelly in it. I am not going to fight them. If that's what they want to do, I'm going to let them do it. If that's what they want, they know better than I do. I'm going to let them do it. Not going to fight it. You ain't going to change their mind. You may deter them for a little while, but you won't change their mind. A lot of bee bread. Lots of bee bread. And we stored up more nectar. You know, I hadn't fed this colony in weeks and weeks. More brood. Kind of spotty, but there's some new stuff down in there, uncapped. Woo! Telling you folks, it's hot out here. It's supposed to be 93 today. I think it's already hotter than that. I do believe. I do believe it's hotter than that already. Bee bread, nectar. Bee bread and nectar. Same thing here. Same thing here. Uh-oh. Kind of stirred them up there. Bee bread and nectar. Had a lot of honey on that one. Okay. I'm getting ready to put this thing back together. Here we go. A little more leverage there now. That is rough on the back for me. Got those down. Gonna get the queen excluder down. I'm leaving the swimper pad on. I'm gonna put the honey super back on if I can do it and not kill myself. Okay, here's one change we're going to make. We are going to put a vented screen top inner cover, because the guy that I trust a lot in beekeeping, said this will help them to draw down the honey, the nectar quicker to make honey. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on there and see how well it works. Well, I don't see any problem with that. If you do, please let me know, because I think it's going to help ventilation. I think it's going to help them draw that nectar down into honey, just like my friend of mine said on YouTube, who I watch and trust. So, this is Papa Bee, and I'm learning. You need to know, I'm not an experienced beekeeper. I'm learning. I lost several hives last year during the dearth, because I just wasn't up to date on how to handle a lot of that. Even though I had people informing me, at the time I wasn't smart enough to comprehend what they were saying. But I understand a little bit better. I think I'm about 2% there, so that leaves roughly 98% I've got to learn before I can call myself inadequate. So if you see anything that will help me, let me know. If I did something right, let me know that too. But in the meantime, I'm going to lay off for about a week or so and come back and see how this hive number 2 is doing, that I removed the queen cells out of last week. This is Papa Bee asking you to subscribe to my channel. Share it so other people know about bees, and maybe we can get more subscribers by them seeing what you share. So give me a thumbs up down there and ring that bell, and you'll have an alert every time I post a video. So this is Papa Bee saying, be careful.